Hey everybody, Canje here with another playthrough of Ascension, the deck building game, published by Marabunta and Stoneblade Entertainment and designed by Robert Downey, Joe Fiorillo, Justin Gray, and Brian Keebler. Just to there is a story to it as we've been going through the first being Godslayers that we are to protect and claim over Vigil. We went, we fought, we won. The second expansion, Return of the Fallen, was where Samael, the monster, made a comeback to return so that he can claim his rightful throne. We threw him down, or as Gandalf would say, smote his ruin. And on the third expansion, because of the outcome of the second expansion, he caused enough damage that souls weren't able to ascend, so the souls were going wild and flying everywhere. In this third expansion, in the second expansion, we dealt with, in Storm of Souls, we dealt with trying to contain those souls and save Vigil. Well, this third expansion is actually on that same story arc, because he is lost. So, with the souls going wild, and it kind of is thematic with what happened to me in the last playthrough as well, with the souls going wild and we not being able to do it ourselves. This third expansion, called Immortal Heroes, has us trying to harness the souls of these immortal heroes to be able to help us contain this problem, while a rebel godling or a monster called Kythis is trying to climb up the rungs and take over for where Samael was before. So let's go ahead and hop into a playthrough of Ascension. So we go ahead, we create our game. Immortal Heroes, which is the third expansion here. Now, Immortal Heroes is a standalone 2-player only game, or you could combine it all with the other 3 that we played for a game where you can have up to 6 people play. Now, remember, I've said in previous ones, and I'll state it again here for people who are just watching this specific one, you can combine them all and play 1 to 6 players, but where it really shines is 3 to 4. If you get 3 to 4 people, you get to play off each other and stop things from happening, so it's really great. Anyway, enough of my talking, let's get into it. And remember, I've sped up the AI so that we can get to my turn and I can explain things as usual. So, there's a new factor to this. They've added soul gems, and that's how we harness the power of the Immortal Heroes to be able to use them. But truly, in terms of the card game, it's more card draw or something special that happens. We have the same things that we had before, where we have the Fanatic, who gives us the event trophy if we defeat him. And the event that this starts off with is a void event called Annihilation. When a player acquires a void card, that player may banish a card in their hand or discard pile. So basically, what happens is if I buy Void, I can start milling my deck. And if you remember the last playthrough, I didn't get a really good mill of that deck, so I just flatlined all the way through the playthrough. So this can help a little bit with that deck mitigation. All right, so let's see. We start off with the usual 10 cards: the Eight of Princesses for one buy power each, and the Militia for 1 combat power each. So we go ahead and hit play to throw them all up there. This one is a combat of 2. I'm going to go ahead and get the Trophy Hunter. And because I did that, it's going to say, hey, that fires, do you want to get rid of something? But that's the only thing in my discard pile, so I'm going to say no to that right now. And then finally, I'll buy the Wolf Acolyte. That'll give me a Lifebound hero with a card draw on Unite. Now, if you remember, Unite means that if you play another Lifebound hero before you play this card, the Unite happens as it combines and synergizes. So we go ahead and do that. No smacking for the Cultist this turn because I only have 1 combat power, so I'll get rid of that. Let the AI go. Of course, the AI is going to go Mechana because Mechana is very strong if you get it all to work. So we got here. So here's one of the trophy monsters that kind of works with you only if there's more than one of the type. This trophy monster here specifically says, I beat it, I gain a reward of 2 crystals. But the ongoing trophy is when you defeat another Grommet or another one of these monster types, you gain an additional 2. And there's a lot of these cards in here, so that really helps out. Right now I can't really attack anything. I've got 4 buy power, so I'm going combat this campaign and just going to start beating things to death. So I end my turn. Not really a lot can happen there. Alright, I've got 2 combats, so the cultist is going to take a smack to the face, but not before I purchase... I want to make use of this void, so I'm going to start purchasing mystics. So I can start banishing those 1-cost mystics and stop wasting my time. And then backhand the cultist. And end my turn. Alright, so this one, I've got 4 combat power, which I'll throw out there, but I have this really nice card here that says you pay 1 less the next time you defeat a trophy monster, which is this one here, and I'm going to go ahead and play that card. So now both of these go down to 3. I hit play to throw them all out there. Look at this. I can hit this monster. If an opponent, it says gain 5, if an opponent controls the most constructs, destroy all the constructs they control. So he has more constructs than me. I don't want him to have that construct. Plus I get some money for doing that. Can't really do anything with the buy power, but you see this Gromitzer out here. So basically what's going to happen is if he's able to kill this Gromit, he's going to kill this one, and he's going to get a total of 4 reward for that. Or is it 6? I don't know, we'll find out. Alright, so he just placed the Soul Gem right here, and that's what those special cards look like. If I can get one, I'll slow it down so you can definitely see what it does. Alright, let's go ahead and play this. The next time you defeat a monster in the center row this turn, the row that turn, gain a Soul Gem. Soul Gems are clutch. I mean, they provide just so much benefit, and you'll see once I get them. So, Void Avenger, that's the only thing in there, so I can't mill it out, unfortunately. And then it procs again. That's okay, but he has to get, it allows him to get rid of one. This Fate came out. That's what happened. So when I got this card, the event procced, which says you can get rid of one. And then what came out was this Deathsworn Warrior with a Fate that said each player may banish a card from their hand or discard pile. So that's what allowed him to do it. I don't have anything in my hand to banish, so I missed that lovely step, so he's 1 ahead of me already. When that happens, he's going to mill out his apprentice. And he's looking to get some buy. Alright, so he didn't kill this Gromit, so I'm going to kill this Gromit. So I'm going to kill this Gromit. And then I'm going to get this, I'm going to get a Mystic. And that'll be all. So what's going to happen now is if I can kill this other Gromit, I'm going to get 4 crystals because I beat it. He gets a Soul Gem because he's going to use that to get the Soul Gem, and that's where you see he just used that card. Alright, so I'm going to kill this Gromit to get 4. I wonder why it's stacked in. When you defeat another Gromit, gain 2. Yeah, so it went up to 12, so that was right. Alright, and I'm going to smack the Fanatic, because getting Fanatics in your deck to do things to give you extra. In this one, the event trophies gain 1 combat power. That can work. I'm going to buy a Mystic. I'm going to end my turn. Okay. You may banish a card in your hand or discard pile. I'm not ready to do that. Discard pile would have been great, but my discard pile's empty. So he's milling out his stuff. And we'll go ahead and hit play here. Trophy monster only gets that reduction. So I've got 5 combat. I'm going to get rid of this to make it 6. Beat the Acid Crawler to get the 5 crystals and him lose that Recycle Crab that he has, which gives me 3 buy power left. I'm going to buy another Mystic and end my turn. The cards are really not playing the best that they could. Ooh, look, the event just shifted. So he played enough to shift the event. We've gone to Mechana of the Cosmic Protocol. When a player acquires a Mechana construct, that player may put it directly into play. So as soon as I pull that construct down, I can immediately use it. And the event trophy is you paid 2 less to acquire a Mechana construct. No Mechana constructs are here. Surprise, surprise. So we'll go ahead and hit play all. I don't want there to be any either. I'm going to go ahead and get a Fanatic. And I'm going to pick up another Mystic. The reason why I do that is if what behind this Trophy Hunter is a Mechanic Construct, that leaves leeway for him to get it instead of me. And I can't have that. So, let's see what he does. And there it is. So I go ahead and I hit play. And I'm going to fire off this to get the trophy. So now this is worth 2. And when I hit it, I'm going to put it immediately into play. And then I come up to see what it is. Once per turn, you may destroy a Mechanic Construct you control to gain 1. If the current event is Mechanic, gain an additional. So destroy means not discard, but get rid of. So I can get 2 combat right now if I want to fight, but there's no monsters to fight, so it's pointless. I will go ahead and I'll get another Mystic because I'm getting really sad about not being able to buy any of these other cards because of these apprentices. I really need to mill those. And smack the Cultist one time. I'm not going to use that to get any fight power. That's why it's hovering red saying there's still more for you to do. So, nope, I'm done. I'm going to hang on to that Spark Slayer for just Sprayer for just a little bit longer. And then yeah, it's nothing for him to burn that on. So I've got some buy power here that I can actually do something with. Let's see, you may banish this to acquire Mystic or Heavy Infantry without paying the cost. Put it into your hand. The next time you defeat a monster in the center row this turn, gain 3 buy power. Pretty good. Belt of the Soul Collector. Stone Circle Elder. Acquire a hero that costs 5 or less without paying its cost. Put it on the top of your deck. If the current event is Lifebound, draw a card. So I'm between Beltar Soul Collector and Stone Circle Elder. Those both seem good. Combat, free buy of 5 or more or less. I said I was going Void. I'm going to stick to my word. Go Void. Alright. I'm not going to do the 2 combat bit thing here, so let's go ahead and end turn. And I've got 8 buy power now. Alright, so the next time you defeat a monster in the center row, gain a soul gem. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And the 3, I'll go ahead and get the Trophy Hunter. And end my turn because I don't want to use that yet, but I will probably use it next. I've not run across any of the Void ones that I've pulled so far, have I? Interesting. Alrighty, so we have gain 2. You may destroy a construct you control to gain a soul gem. That would be fun. These do not count as constructs, these being the grommets. They are just ongoing trophy rewards for more grommets that I fight. I'll do a Mystic and a Fanatic. And end my turn. Kind of stagnating here, so I need a monster to fight. Alright, so the next time you defeat a monster, gain a soul gem. You may pay 1 less to defeat a trophy monster, and my militia makes 6. Defeat a monster, gets rid of his stuff, and I get a soul gem. Let's take a look at soul gems now that you can finally see one. So the one that I got is Druids of the Stone Circle. Acquire a hero that costs 3 or less without paying its cost and place it on top of my deck. So soul gems vary wildly. In the tabletop version that you're going to buy, there's going to be a set amount of cards. But those set amount of cards, the soul gems always provide you with a benefit. And there is a further expansion that expands on soul gems to where they hide them behind cards, but we'll get to those in another playthrough. But for right now, because they're beginning the soul gem march, we're going to go ahead and do this so we can get a free Mystic. That'll go on top of my deck. And then I'll have 2 buy power to get a... I don't want either one of these, but I want him to pick them up to see what's underneath them, so I'll hide there. I don't need to do that because there is no constructs out, so I'm not going to use my Fanatic. So let's see what he's going to buy. Nothing. So he's waiting on me, I'm waiting on him. So we'll just keep this going. Let's see. I'll get the Stone Circle Elder. Sure, I'll play this game. Do you see what just happened? Do you see what just happened? That was awful. So I should have waited. So he's going to get this Mechanic Construct because it's worth 5. He's going to buy Fanatic, which makes it worth less than 5. It's going to be worth about 3. I don't have 3, and I wish I could play something to get it so that I can. So this was a bad play on my part. Once per turn, when you play a Mechanic Construct, you gain 1 crystal. So, oof. He has a draw a card. You may banish a card in your hand or discard pile gem as the Arbiter of Fate. He's going to pick up that. Pick up the Grommet to stop me from getting the Grommet, which would have been 4 extra. So let's go ahead and hit play. So this Recycle Crab here, that when you play a Mechanics Construct, if this is in your discard pile, you may return it to your hand. So that really yields me nothing but points. It yields points, so I'm going to put it into play. Fate just fired, and the Fate says you may banish a card from your hand or discard pile. So let's start that deck milling. You may banish a card from your hand or discard pile from this. Yes, I will purchase that. A new Grommet, which I kill. So notice I went up to 33, and it gave me a Soul Gem, which allows me to draw 2. I go ahead and hit play. That puts me at 5. You may banish this or another card in your hand, and if you do gain a Soul Gem, if the current event is void, you may banish a card in your discard pile to gain a Soul Gem instead. But we have flipped to Lifebound. When a player acquires a Lifebound hero, that player may put it on top of their deck. Event, name a hero. That hero is also Lifebound this turn. So this is where the synergies come in, because if I use my Fanatic when I have another Lifebound card that has Unite, I can synergize any card in my deck to unite that card once the Great Eclipse is out. So this looks good. I'm probably not going to get a Soul Shaper. I would like some more Soul Gems because they really help, but Buy Power is my friend. I'm going to get the Temple Guardian. And I don't have enough combat to do much with that. So I'm going to hang on to those. Throw that out there. Draw 2 cards. Each other player may draw a card. Then you may banish a card in the center row. So I'm going to draw a card because that is his. That's there. Then he's going to decide to banish that. He has enough to kill the Nothing Man. Unless another monster comes out. And that's where that goes. Okay, so Unite, right? So, but he flipped it. He flipped it to Souls Unbound. He got rid of Lifebound, and now it's a monster event. So the monster event is monsters in the center row are unbanishable. But if my event trophy, if I discard a card, I will get a Soul Gem. So I can do that. I will do that. Let's see. Yeah, the Buy Power is not really there, and I completely lost the Lifebound perspective of it. So I will go ahead and do that to banish an Apprentice to get a Soul Gem. And that Soul Gem is the Scar's Fire, which lets me draw 2 cards. And banish a card in the center row. Orb of Nyx is insanely powerful, and it's insanely powerful because it's worth 5, but it also costs 8. Do I have 8 to buy that? No, but I'm going to get rid of this Spark Slayer because I don't want him to have it. Alright, so let's see. You pay 1 less the next time you defeat a trophy monster, but there's no trophy monster. No trophy monster. I'm built for combat and can do nothing about it. So let's see if we could get a monster to come out because I still have that Spark Slayer that I can use. You may destroy a construct you control, gain a Soul Gem. You may return a construct you control to your hand. Draw a card, then you may banish a card in the center row. If you've played a One Ring, you may banish both cards to take another turn. So this is free turns. Ooh. Nope, I'm going to go with the Beast Staff. Get that extra fight. I'll get a Fanatic for that. And then start smacking the Cultist twice. And remember, you can hit the Cultist as much times as you want. The Fanatic, you can hit the Fanatic as much time as you want, but you can only gain one Fanatic in your hand at a time. Because I can't do anything else with buy power, I'll go ahead and close this. And it has switched to Enlightened. This is a nasty one, and I'll show you that monster in a second. And I am going to defeat that monster this turn. So, when a player acquires an Enlightened card, that player may draw a card. Banish a card in your hand. If you do, acquire a Mystic without paying its cost and put it into your hand. So, good deck milling. Ooh, I can get a 2 here. Let's first deal with a Calm. A Calm the Genie has he's an interesting trophy monster. Okay? It says, put 3 wish counters on a Calm. And what those 3, basically, it's a short-term ongoing trophy. Short-term meaning, once you burn through the 3 wishes, it's over. But in those times, on your turn, you can basically say, I want 2 buy power, or I want 2 combat power. And you don't have to use them. You can hang on to them. But when it gets closer to the end game, it's time to start burning through a Calm's wishes to get through. Really cool card. Gonna get that card. So, 2, 4. That's enough to beat a Calm. So, I'm gonna defeat him, get those 3 wishes, get some buy power from this, because next time you defeat a monster in the center row, gain 3, so I have 3 from there. Then I am going to fire off the Fanatic to banish the Apprentice and pick up a Mystic. Come back out, so that's 2, 4, and oh look, that gets me to 7, which was perfect from the 3, so I can get the Drill Maker 4. Once per turn, when you play a Mechanic Construct, gain a Soul Gem. He has these cards. I have to stop him from getting these cards, so I'm going to take that card from him. Here is Kythis, the Rebel Godling. Remember I told you in the story faction that Kythis is trying to rise above his station and become bigger than he is? He is the reason for the Immortal Heroes, because we have to put a stop to him. He is the big bad of the game. And because of that, he is an ongoing trophy. Once per turn, gain a Soul Gem. You just get a free Soul Gem every turn you can, and he gives you a massive amount of crystals to start off. So the race is on to beat Kythis. So let's see. I'm going to save my Calm ones because I don't have enough to beat him just yet. Even if I use all wishes, I'll just have 6. And I think it's a once per turn deal. Once per turn, you may remove a wish. So I can't burn them all at once. I can only use 1 per turn. Plus, don't forget, I still have this. So that's 3 combat points that I have coming off the bat to fight him for my next round if he is not defeated this turn. So let's see what happens. Computer's thinking, so I'm hoping it's thinking buy power, not combat power, because I have enough to beat him. I just have to get there. So he just united. He has 7. He had enough, and he beat him. He just took him out of my hands. Now he defeated Kythis, which would end the story of the expansion, but unfortunately he did it before I could, and I had everything ready to go too. That's a shame. I'll get this and a buy power. So he got 8, this massive jump up ahead of me, and every single turn he gets a Soul Gem. Let's see. I'll go here, go here. I'm going to burn on a Calm to get 2 buy power. To put me at 6. The Trophy Monster. So I get 2 Soul Gems for beating the Jackal, which gives me, you may banish a card in your hand or discard pile. My discard pile is always empty when I get to banish these things. Weird, right? Let's see, gain 1 for each faction of constructs you control, so I just get 1 for that. And then I don't have anything to banish. What do you give me? You give me an extra buy power, so use that to 8. So defeat a monster without paying its costs. Aaron the Godslayer. Aaron the Godslayer is the strong, enlightened hero in terms of the story. He is the one that's been running all along to beat the bads and maintain vigil. And so here he's showing up as a card. But this one, Elon the Soul Marshal, gain a soul gem and draw a card. I can defeat monsters, so I'm going to go ahead and gain a soul gem. Banish a card in your hand. If you do, acquire a mystic without paying its cost. So, but it also says I may draw a card because of what happened. One of these has already been bought. I don't want him to get the other one because that means he'll get another free turn to just kind of rack up some points on me. Draw another card because that was an enlightened hero. Combats of 6. I'm going to get a fanatic. Banish a card in your hand. If you do, acquire a mystic without paying its cost. Don't need to do that right now. But then hit a cultist. This is going to hurt, folks. This is going to hurt. So let's go ahead and let this happen. He gets his free soul gem. He gets another soul gem. And then he's going to use that to get that. Alright. So what do we have? We have 8 buy power and 1 combat. I'm not using a count for anything right now. We're getting closer to the end game here, and it's a 52-45 matchup. So let's see what we can do. I'm going for points here, so this is a 4-pointer. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. Be able to draw a card because of it. Get a 1. You know what? This is going to bite me. I know it. I know it will. I'll get that 2 combat to beat a cackling jackal. That goes into my hand. And I'm going to use it to get 3. Once per turn, when you play a mechanic construct, you may return a construct from your discard pile to your hand, but look at the money on that. And I cannot stop him. I will go with the Spider Witch, which puts the new player 1 down in his hand. He gets a free soul gem card. Unfortunate for Canje. So he's going to defeat the cackling jackal. The drill mark 4 that I kept away from him, he now gets. Because that's what he's going for. And that usually when it's churning that long, he's cooking up something. There's the 8. He picked up the repurposer and the energy monk. Took the grommet away from me. And let's see. I don't have any cards I want to banish. The next time I defeat a monster, I gain 3. Oh, I plan to defeat that Nothing Man. Which will give me... I will use that immediately to gain a soul gem. If you've played a Lifebound hero this turn, gain 2. But I don't. So I'll just gain 2 there. Put the 2 out to give me 7. And I can start milling. So let's get rid... No, I'll keep that. I'll get rid of the militia. And then I can banish this card to banish another in my hand or discard pile. Oh yeah. And then we'll start getting rid of these apprentices. Because we're getting close. We're getting real close here. Alright, so I want the highest points for my buck because we're close to the end game. I'm going to get the drill mark 4. Look at this card. Imagine the Unite on this card. You get 2 buy power, 2 combat power, 2 crystals, and you can draw 2 cards. Interesting. Alright, so banish a card in your hand, which I can't. So 2 on him. And my turn. My next round I'm going to use my final Acom Wish because we're so close to the end game. Hopefully he'll leave a monster that I can use the Temple Guardian on. That'll be fantastic. Gains another soul gem. Let's see. This has been a close combat, 58-52. So while I haven't had the best pulls, I've tried to keep it consistent with the crystals. Just to let you know that soul gems don't give you points. They're just that one turn burst usage, and then they're gone. So he can get all the soul gems he wants, and he's going to get another one with that. But he can get all the soul gems he wants. That's going to unite to give him another soul gem. So you see him stacking them up on me here. The Acid Crawler, that hurt. He got rid of all my cards, except for the Grommets and the Calm. And I can banish some cards. So I'm going to banish this Apprentice because it does nothing for me because of that Fate. And then another Fate happens. And I will banish the other Apprentice 2 seconds too late. He went up to 71 with all that playing. Insane. Alright, so defeat a monster of 5 or less without paying its cost. Bye-bye, Cackling Jackal. Of course, you know I'm going to burn the Cackling Jackal to get rid of that because I need to use it. There is no tomorrow. Once per turn, gain 1. Gain 2. 5. The Fanatic, it has changed. So now when a player plays a Void card, that player may banish a card, but the trophy is I gain 1 to fight. So you know I'm going to gain 1 to fight. I'm going to defeat the Ascetic Crawler, spinning the event, getting rid of all that. Let's see. Once per turn, you may pay 1 to reveal the top card of your deck and gain... yeah, I'll do that. Be good, be good, be good. A 3. That works. Alright, and then I have a Calm, which I will use his last gem. Not for combat, but for buy power. And 3. It's just 1s left. Mystics and Heavy Infantry are worth 1 as well, so nothing really great. But just in case he gets a turn to go, because this is going really well, I'm going to grab a Mystic. Let's see how it ends out. Defeated. So... he had 71 crystals that he acquired. I had 62. His deck had 65 cards. I had 63. So close. I closed the margin, but those soul gems just kept giving him great stuff. And beating Kythis was key. It was really key to doing that. So we didn't win, but the story of Vigil continues in the next expansion. If you have any questions, leave it there in a comment. Any comments, let me know. Anyway, have a good day. Bye, everybody.